Welcome to Sissygram Stories channel. How are you all? I know you like my voice, and my voice makes you more soft and relax. Hit the like button and subscribe button if you like my voice, and my voice makes you feel more girly by reading this kind of stories. Okay, good. Now let's start this story. The story starts with me, lost in a daydream, standing in front of the urinal at work. I couldn't stop thinking about the previous day, when I had secretly worn a full set of women's clothes under my business suit. No one had noticed a thing, not even my sharp-eyed secretary. As long as my pants covered my ankles, I felt secure. But then, a deep, authoritative voice broke through my thoughts. Do you really want to see how far you can go without anyone knowing? The shock nearly made me jump 3 inches. When ID entered the bathroom, I was sure ID been alone and I hadn't heard anyone come in. Suddenly, I was frozen midstream, feeling completely exposed. Turning around, I found myself face to face with a stranger who looked as if he'd stepped out of an Arabian Nights film. He was wearing a stylish suit, his beard neatly trimmed, and he had a sly, knowing smile. As I tried to process how he could possibly know what I'd been thinking, he continued, "It comes naturally to me. I know what people are thinking." He went on to explain that he possessed other powers too, eternal life, the ability to appear anywhere he wanted, and a knack for bending reality to his whims. "The only problem," he said, "is that I get bored easily. I'm always looking for something new to make things interesting." His words echoed in my mind. How far could I go without anyone noticing? Truth be told, I enjoyed the feeling of women's clothing and the little thrill of wearing it in secret. While I sometimes wished I had a more feminine body, there were aspects of a woman's life I didn't want, like making small talk for the sake of it, shopping endlessly, or any romantic involvement with men. The stranger's voice broke my thoughts. "How about a bet?" he said with a grin. "I'll make it fun for both of us. Here's the deal. Every time you use the bathroom, I'll make you a little more feminine. Before you go, you can either suggest to change yourself, or it'll surprise you. By the end of the month, if you haven't fully transformed, you'll have a choice. Take a $1 million prize and keep a male appearance, or go all the way and keep your new feminine self." Intrigued, I agreed to his strange offer, and from that moment, the changes began. I realized I'd already lost some of my waist size, and my hips were curvier. Each trip brought subtle shifts. My body hair thinned out, my hair grew longer, and my body shape grew increasingly feminine. One day, as I was lost in thought, I heard my boss calling me to his office to discuss a client report. I was so distracted by the changes that I could barely focus on work. Despite my efforts to stay calm, I kept checking that my new curves weren't visible through my clothes. Every step I took felt like a test to see if my secret would be discovered. Things really escalated one weekend when I decided to try on my favorite black dress to see how the changes looked on me with my new curves and smooth skin. I was stunned by how feminine I appeared, but the thrill was mixed with anxiety. If I continued with the bet, I'd soon have to deal with much bigger changes. Later that week, I received a call from my boss asking if I could come in to help with a report. Trying to avoid the office in my altered state, I feigned a cold. He bought my excuse, but insisted he check in later. After hanging up, I went to the bathroom, only to realize ID unknowingly triggered another change. My hands and feet had shrunk, and my face now had softer, more feminine features. That was when I knew things were getting out of control. I tried to cover up my new look, but I knew my colleagues must be noticing. My boss eventually showed up at my house, catching me off guard. I answered the door in my robe, trying to hide my transformed appearance, but he seemed unfazed. As we discussed the report, he finally admitted, "Sam, I've known for a while that you like to dress up as a woman. You're the best worker I have, and I'll accept you however you want to look." Hawked and relieved, I realized that he and even some of the staff had known about my secret all along. As the month drew to a close, I took a look at my reflection, now undeniably feminine. With my new waist-length hair, smooth skin, and a body that filled out my clothes in all the right places, I had to admit I loved the way I looked. My boss's acceptance made me feel ready to embrace this side of myself. Okay, so story ends here now. I want you to write in comment section. What will you do if you were in that character? And what should be the next part of this story? Don't forget to subscribe this channel for daily updates of Sissygram stories. I will get back to you with new story content soon. Take care. Bye.